Picture this. You're talking with friends about Star Wars. You confidently quote that famous line Darth Vader delivers, "Luke, I am your father." Except, he never actually said that. Yep, mind blown, right? What he really said was,
"No, I am your father."
But how did that happen? How did everyone get it wrong? It's not just movie lines. It's entire historical events, brand logos, and even geography. If you've ever experienced this brain-bending phenomenon, then congratulations. You've fallen into the rabbit hole known as the Mandela Effect. But why is it called the Mandela Effect? And why do so many people seem to remember things wrong? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the quirky, puzzling world of collective false memories. Welcome back to our channel, The Stuffed Capsicum, where we serve up an enticing mix of educational and entertaining content. Let's start with the big question. What is the Mandela Effect? In simple terms, it's when a large group of people collectively remembers something incorrectly. It's like our brains are playing a cosmic game of telephone, except the result is everyone swears they heard the same thing, which turns out to be wrong. But why the name Mandela? In 2009, a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broom coined the term after realizing she and thousands of others distinctly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. People even recalled watching his funeral on TV. Except, Mandela didn't die in the 80s. He was released in 1990 and lived until 2013. This shared false memory was so widespread that it sparked the term Mandela Effect, and that was just the beginning. There are hundreds of these mind-bending examples. From Berenstain Bears, yes, it's Stain not Stein, to famous movie lines, entire generations are left scratching their heads. But wait. Before we hop aboard the alternate universe theory train, which, spoiler alert, some people believe is the only explanation, let's explore the real psychological factors behind this. Memory is a funny thing. It's not like your brain takes a perfect photograph of an event. Nope, memory is constructed. Each time you recall something, your brain rebuilds that memory, sort of like reconstructing a Lego set. And every time you do it, pieces might get misplaced, swapped, or outright lost. Even worse, memories from others around us can influence our recollection, blending in their misremembered details with our own. Take the famous example of the Monopoly Man. He's always had a monocle, right? Actually, wrong. The Monopoly Man never had a monocle. But here's the kicker. Many believe people confuse him with Mr. Peanut, the Planters mascot, who does wear a monocle, or the Looney Tunes versus. Looney Tunes debate. Tunes like music make sense, but so many remember it spelled tunes, as in cartoons. What gives? Collective false memories are tricky because our brains are wired to create patterns and fill in gaps. If enough people are saying Looney Tunes, you're more likely to jump on board. Now, for the juicy stuff, could there be more to the Mandela Effect than just memory errors? This is where things get weird. Some believe the Mandela Effect is evidence of parallel universes bleeding into our own. According to this theory, we remember things from an alternate reality where events unfolded differently. Maybe in another universe, Nelson Mandela did die in prison, or the Berenstain Bears had an E. Mind-boggling, right? To add to the mix, quantum physicists have thrown in a theory about the multiverse, suggesting there are infinite realities coexisting with our own. What if our memories are crossing dimensions? It sounds like something straight out of the Matrix, but for some, it's a more satisfying explanation than, oops, our brains are just glitchy. Before we start prepping for life in the multiverse, let's circle back to what the experts say. Psychologists point to a phenomenon called confabulation, filling in memory gaps with fabricated yet convincing details. Your brain is hardwired to piece together stories and make sense of the world, but it can accidentally fill in those gaps with false information. And the more confident we are in our memories, the harder it is to accept we might be wrong. There's also something called suggestibility. If someone you trust says they remember Febreze having two E's, spoiler, it doesn't, your brain is more likely to accept that altered version as truth. And if multiple people are remembering it wrong, the false memory spreads like wildfire. In movies, this happens a lot. For example, in Snow White, people swear they remember the evil queen saying, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," but the line is actually, "Magic mirror on the wall." The incorrect version became so culturally ingrained that even Disney fans forget the original line. Speaking of misquoted movies, let's take a quick pit stop at The Matrix. You know the famous line, "What if I told you everything you knew was a lie?" Guess what? That line doesn't exist in the movie. It became so widespread in meme culture that it was attributed to The Matrix. But you'll never find it in the actual film, or the iconic line from Field of Dreams. "If you build it, they will come." Sorry, that's another misquote. The actual line is, "If you build it, he will come." So, what's the takeaway here? Is the Mandela Effect proof that we're living in a glitchy simulation or hopping between alternate realities? Or is it just our brains pulling an elaborate prank, mixing up memories like a blender set to high? Maybe it's a little of both, a reminder that our perception of reality is never quite as solid as we think. Whether it's a forgotten movie line or an entire event that half the world misremembers, the Mandela Effect forces us to question how much of what we know is truly accurate. So, what about you? Are there any events or details you swear happened, but now realize might be part of this weird phenomenon? Drop your Mandela Effect stories in the comments below. After all, maybe we're all living in a shared misremembered history, and who knows what we'll remember next? And that brings us to the end of another captivating journey with the stuffed capsicum. Thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of our global community of knowledge seekers. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our exciting videos filled with fascinating facts, surprising discoveries, and a touch of AI magic. Stay stuffed with knowledge by exploring our diverse playlists, and be sure to share your favorite videos with friends and family. We appreciate your support and can't wait to continue serving up a delectable mix of educational and entertaining content. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep those stuffed capsicums of wonder rolling. Hey, Capsicum crew! I hope you're enjoying our content as much as we love creating it for you. But here's the thing. Making these videos takes a lot of time, love, and resources. From the research to editing, every bit of support helps us keep going, and we want to keep growing and delivering even more exciting content for you. That's where you come in. We've set up a Ko-Fi page where you can support the channel by donating, and every little bit helps. Whether it's a one-time contribution or something small regularly, it goes a long way in helping us create more content and keep the channel thriving. Plus, you'll be directly contributing to the next big video you see here. If you love what we're doing and want to be a part of the journey, you can find us at ko-fi.com with the handle at the stuffed capsicum, or the link is in the bio. Your support means the world to us, and we couldn't do it without you. Thanks for watching, supporting, and being part of the Stuffed Capsicums family. Let's keep exploring, learning, and having fun together.